Dinosaurs have been dead for 66 million years. That's what we were taught. That's what every book says. But in 2005, a scientist broke open a T-Rex bone and found something inside that should not have been there. Something soft, something biological, something that, by every law of science, should have turned to dust millions of years ago. We have been collecting dinosaur fossils for over 150 years. And all this time, we believed one thing without question. Fossils are stone, not bone. Stone. When an animal dies and gets buried in sediment, the soft parts, flesh, blood, organs, all rot away. Gone. Forever. What remains is slowly replaced by minerals. Silica, calcium, iron. The bone becomes rock, a perfect copy, a shadow trapped in stone. That's fossilization 101. That's the law, and for 150 years, no one questioned it. Why would they? When you look at a T-Rex bone, you see brown-gray rock. You touch it, rock. You smell it, that faint mineral scent of a museum. It's rock. But one scientist decided to look closer. Not with her eyes, not with an X-ray. She decided to dissolve the rock. And what she found split the entire field of paleontology in half. Her name is Mary Schweitzer, paleontologist, North Carolina State University. She is working on a T-Rex bone, Moore 1125, excavated from the Hell Creek Formation in Montana. The bone was massive, too big to transport whole. So they broke it, standard procedure. But Schweitzer noticed something. On the freshly broken surface, inside the bone, something was different. It looked reddish, not gray rock, not brown mineral, red. She leaned closer. Inside were tiny channels, just like in living bone. The kind that carry blood. She thought, this is strange. This is very strange. She took a small fragment to her lab and did something no one had ever done with a dinosaur bone before. She soaked it in a weak acid to remove the minerals. And after a few weeks, when the rock was gone, what remained was tissue. Real, soft, biological tissue. She picked it up with tweezers. It stretched. The lab went silent. No one knew what to say. Because what she was holding was a piece of a T-Rex. A real piece, not stone. Tissue. From an animal that died 68 million years ago. Under the microscope, it became even more astonishing. Inside the tissue were structures that looked like blood cells. Round, nucleated, exactly like bird red blood cells. And this is where it gets strange. Birds are descendants of theropod dinosaurs. T-Rex is their ancestor. So why do these cells look like bird cells? Because they are. Evolution. Continuity. But they are 68 million years old. Then Schweitzer found something else. Protein fragments. Collagen. The protein that holds the body together, preserved inside the T-Rex bone. And when those proteins were analyzed, the closest match was chicken. The T-Rex, chemically, is similar to a chicken. That's not a metaphor. That's a scientific fact. But the real question is, how? How did soft tissue survive 68 million years? Rock makes sense. Minerals last forever. But proteins break down. Cells decay. Under normal conditions, DNA completely degrades in about 6.8 million years. And here we are talking about something 10 times older. So either our entire understanding is wrong, or something protected this tissue. And the answer was iron. T-Rex had a large amount of iron in its blood. When it died, the blood flooded the bone. And iron is a powerful preservative. It coated the tissue, bound the proteins, created a kind of biological amber, and protected it from bacteria for 68 million years. And this wasn't just one case. Later, scientists examined more fossils and found soft tissue in Brachylophosaurus, 80 million years old, Mosasaur, 70 million years, Hadrosaur, 75 million years. It was everywhere. We just never looked. If you've made it this far, you already know something most people don't. But the story isn't over. Let's talk about DNA. According to scientists, DNA has a limit. After about 6.8 million years, it completely breaks down. So when 68 million year old tissue was found, the question became terrifying. What else is still there? In 2017, T-Rex proteins were reanalyzed. Result: chicken, ostrich, alligator. A computer would classify it as a bird. Not a reptile, a bird. Now science says, T-Rex was warm-blooded, possibly had feathers, was fast, and more intelligent than we thought. We didn't just find tissue. We found that we were wrong. In 2013, DNA was extracted from a 700,000-year-old horse. The record was broken. Now the question is, can DNA survive millions of years? Answer: we don't know yet. In 2023, a new study appeared. Inside the cells of a dinosaur called Hypacrosaurus, scientists found material that behaves like DNA. It was exactly where DNA should be. Is it real DNA? Unknown. But the possibility exists. What does that mean? Dinosaur genetic material may still exist. In museums, inside bones. We thought fossils were just history. Dead things. But the truth, they are time capsules. The next time you see a dinosaur bone, don't just look at the surface. Think about the inside, and ask yourself, what is still there? What hasn't decayed yet? And what are we still too afraid to look for?